synodal communion with anyone. They're only related to others who are anti-Chalcedonian. Yeah, that's true. And they weren't even really working together until the 1960s. 1965, there was a kind of meeting. It wasn't even really a council. It's a meeting of different non-Chalcedonian churches, and they came up with the term Oriental Orthodox in 1965. It's a brand new thing. The fact that the understanding of these people being one church was not a thing until 1965.
It's they said we venerate things Coptic. Saint Severus is in our diptych, of course, but today, right now, we commemorate each other's patriarchs in the liturgy. So the Coptic liturgy, you will hear the Patriarch of Antioch's name. You will hear the Eritrean Patriarch's name. In ours, you're going to hear the Coptic Pope's name. So the Byzantines don't do that. If the bishop is the celebrant, you'll only hear the patriarch for that one patriarch. But us, even if it's just a priest doing the liturgy, you'll hear the other patriarchs we're in communion with, because that's the primitive model.
And also, I think, just to add something here, that liturgical diversity is really, really important, because especially like you were making of the Byzantine liturgy, to my knowledge, that's the only liturgical rite that's present amongst the Greeks. And when I say Greeks, that includes also Eastern Europeans, Russians, and all that. There's only one liturgical rite. And I've seen some people, I think, without education, kind of brag about that as if it's a strength. You know, if I go anywhere in the world, it's the same rite. Meanwhile, you guys are disorganized. And I don't think they understand that that works against them. So the idea of liturgical diversity is actually emblematic of what the original church looked like. So if you go to Milan, there's going to be a different liturgical rite that Ambrose would celebrate compared to if you went to Alexandria, compared to if you went to Antioch, so on and so forth. They all had different liturgies that they were celebrating. So you see that liturgical diversity being maintained. And before I hear anyone from the Latin side saying, well, we have liturgical diversity too. No, you took liturgical diversity from us. It's not organic. It was added later, right? The only church that has a continuous, unbroken line of liturgical diversity the whole time is the Oriental Orthodox Church. Exactly. With the Latins, you only have the Latin rite, and then later on, when they like colonize, these different other places, then they added in here the Coptic liturgy. Hey, Ethiopians, you want to be Catholic? Here's the Ethiopian liturgy. But the one that's uncontinued, it's always been, is the Oriental Orthodox Church, and that's emblematic of the visible church. People really need to put this through their heads, is the burden of proof is not on us to show communion, it's on those that added, right? If you add something to what already exists, the default is already the pre-existing thing. So it's on you to prove like, oh, I added this, you added this, we both added the same thing, right? So we call ourselves non-Chalcedonians simply to show that we didn't receive Chalcedon, but in a more affirmative or cataphatic sense, we can just say we're Orthodox. We already had the three councils they accept. We didn't add anything or subtract anything. So we're the default, right? If anyone didn't do anything and you just maintain the status quo, then that by definition makes you part of the one church. But I think we could easily turn it on our heads and respond to these people like, well, you're the ones that added it. So it's on you, right? If they don't send a letter confirming that they affirm Chalcedon, then they're the ones that are not in communion with one another. But we don't even have to do this. Like, this is superfluous. Like, it's not even needed. I think it's divine providence that we have all these evidence so that there's no type of debate. But we wouldn't even need to send letters confirming that we rejected Chalcedon. Insofar as we're silent about it, that's it. It's a default.